Hey you guys, it's Bunny. Welcome to my channel. Well, back to my channel. So, today I decided let's do something different. I love all these hair treatments. Well, haven't done a hair treatment yet. But facials, fall, la 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 la. Cut. Okay, I'm a little nervous. Okay, so I decided today let's talk about my jail story. Yes. Is Bunny a con? No, I'm not a con. I just made some mistakes in my life. Haven't we all? Alright, so what happened was I was 20 years old and I came into a lot of money when I was 19. But that's besides the point. That's another story for another day. When I was 20, I lived alone and, well, I always have lived alone pretty much, but I went crazy. Definitely went loco. All I did was pretty much partied. Drank a lot. Partied Monday through Friday. It was just all party. I didn't have to work. I had money. I had money for my bills. I had money to go buy a big ass. Can I say ass on YouTube? I went and bought a brand new. It makes me so upset talking about it. Brand new Chevrolet Silverado, white. I decided, you know what? Let's lift that. Come on. All red rims, custom red rims, big, like, off-roading tires, little pedestal that comes out when I open the door with LED lights on it, 3 train horns, 6-inch lift, bam. It was in the shop for about 3 weeks, which was ridiculous, but I got a lot of work done on it. So happy. I was such a happy little girl when I got my truck. I went, picked it up, drove it around like the biggest little girl ever. Just honked at everyone, got out of my way. I was like queen on the road, literally. Love that truck. I called it Trap Bunny. Okay, enough about the truck. I can go on and on. It makes me... So, basically, I decided, let me go down an hour away, because I used to drive an hour pretty much, go party. Well, I decided, I still remember this night, so I actually went and picked up my friends. Mistake number 1. Picked up my friend, Megan at the time. Friend. By the way, when things like this happen, you realize who your real friends are. So I go and pick up my friend, Megan. And shout out to Megan for being... Anyways, I picked up her and her boyfriend at the time, Jeff. And Jeff was pretty cool. I liked him. I liked them both. Pick him up and I'm like, you know what? Let's go party. But I have to go stop at my dad's real quick because he made me food. I forgot. I had to go see him. So I go see him. It's him and my mom. My brother's there. They're all sitting there and they're like, oh, what are you up to tonight? It was like Friday or Saturday night. I forgot the night. Saturday night. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go party down south. So I remember still when I was leaving, my dad told me, never went and saw my dad before partying, by the way. It's like he told me, looked me in my eyes and said, be careful tonight. Okay, Dad, I'll be careful. I go down south, start drinking. I'm at this outside party with my friends. And by the way, my friend told me we have to leave early because I have work in the morning. She had work at like 7 in the morning or something. So I was like, oh, shit. All right. That went out of my mind after the first drink because I just was drinking like I did not have to leave. And I was so drunk that I got up on a stage because it was like an outdoor like party with a DJ and stuff. I took the mic and started rapping in front of like, there was probably 200 people there. Started rapping, which isn't surprising because I love to rap. Yeah. But my rap was probably really bad because I couldn't even probably talk at the time. I was like stuttering everywhere probably. Just twerking, stepping. All of a sudden, mixing drinks. All of a sudden, my friends come up to me and say, Bunny, we have to go. And I'm like, what? I can't drive. And then my friend says, oh, well, we have to. Let me drive. And I'm like, hell no. No one drives my truck. So I just kind of went back and forth. And to be honest, I should have just said, no, I can't drive. And no, you can't drive either. I should have called her an Uber because honestly, what is that, $100 I would have spent on an Uber? Like, I should have called an Uber for them because I would have rather paid $100 than the $12,000 I spent on a lawyer, and much, much more, because it wasn't just a lawyer fee, a lot of money. So I pretty much said, no, all right, fine, let's go. I go sit in the truck. I don't remember this. Apparently, I was pressing the gas and she was steering. How bad is that? And he's in the back, her boyfriend, fast asleep, okay? And he brought a bag with him. So I remember we come up to a stoplight and it's blinking. It's the middle of the night. It's like 3 a.m. It's blinking red, which I know means stop. And then the other side of the intersection was blinking yellow, which means they proceed with caution. So I know. I stopped. I look both ways and I see a car coming, an SUV, but it was far away. And I even looked, because I'm a good drunk driver. I mean, I know that's bad, but I would drive drunk all the time, straight up. And I felt like I was even better at it than sober, because I was just like, hey. So I look. I see the speed limit. It says 35. I was like, okay, they're far away. I definitely have time to make this left turn. So I go. As I'm going, all of a sudden, bam! The car smacked into the back of my truck. First of all, who does that? If you see a truck turning, like, you smacked me in the very last part of my truck, it, was kind of just I definitely had time to go. They were going super fast, apparently, because there's no way they got to me in time. Anyways, though, my truck was like hydraulics. We didn't get hurt. It was like boom, 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 boom. It literally was like tiptoeing in the road. And then my friends were like, go. They wanted me to leave the scene. And I tried. I'm not going to lie. I kind of was so fucked up. I just pushed the gas because I was like, I can't deal with this. My truck wouldn't move. My axle was off. I get out of my truck. Normally, you know how you've been drinking and you're like, okay, let me chew some gum. Let me get ready for this. Let me get ready because the cops are coming. Let me put on the greatest show of my life. I'm not drunk. And then there's the oblivious drunk. I was past drunk. I was at the level of crying. I saw my truck, was crying and Snapchatting. Pull out my phone. Look what happened to my truck. I sounded horrible. And then this guy runs out of his car, is not hurt, thank God. I see his car, it's so smashed. Thank God he didn't die, because that's a whole nother story if that happened. But he came out yelling at me, and I'm screaming, cursing at him, because what the, you hit my truck. I was just so upset. Just got this truck, put over $10,000 into it. And then this happens. And I was so drunk. The cops come. I didn't think, let me chew gum. Let me compose myself. Let me be an adult. No. I was a little girl at the time. I was crying. I was wearing a black BB tank top, some black and white striped tight booty shorts like Beetlejuice, black long socks, Converse, pigtails. First of all, let's start by saying I get a woman cop. Just my luck, right? A woman. How am I going to get out of this? A fat blonde woman. Older. First thing she says to me is that what you wear every day? What does that have to do with anything? Hello? But she was very jealous. She did not like me right off the bat. And I was like, I went to party. And then, holy gajoli, she calls her backup. DUI test. She already knew. So I get this guy, and he says to me, if it was me, I can't let you go. I would let you, but, she's kind of a bitch. That's what he said. And so he's over here, do you want to blow? First of all, my parents never sat down to me and told me, like, if you ever get in this situation, here's what to do. Don't talk to the cops. Do not blow. Well, I didn't know this. What do? I blow. That's proof right there, like for court, that I was drunk, because now they have my alcohol level. I didn't know, okay? I talked to the cops. I had no idea. I thought, it's going to help me. No, at that point, you're done. You don't talk to them, you go to jail. Well, I'm going to jail anyways. At least my lawyer can try to get me off. Well, what happened was I walked that straight line, probably crooked, got put in handcuffs, not the good kind. And then I'm in the back seat of this car. How effed up am I that I say to this woman, can you Snapchat me? Because I just was thinking, I have to notify my fans, hello, what's happening in my life? And then I also say, how much do cops make? And she looks at me and says, are you trying to bribe me right now? Because that's a felony right there. And I said, I'm just asking, how much do they make? Because I will give you $10,000 if you just take me home right now. I have it in my bank, let's go. And she looks at me and says, I can't take your money, and you can't talk to me about this because it's illegal. And I was like, how much do cops make? I was so serious. Thank God. I mean, she wrote it down on my report. The court saw it, but she did not charge me on that. So, guess what? They find weed in Jeff's bag in the back seat. So I get charged for that. I had no idea he had weed. I had no idea he had weed. I don't even smoke. They didn't say it's mine. No, because guess what? You learn who your real friends are. So, I get charged for weed, get charged for DUI. And then I was underage too. I was 20, so it was pretty bad. Okay, so I go to jail. Guess what? Megan and Jeff probably take their happy butts home, go to sleep for work the next day. They don't try to bail me out. No one knows I'm in jail. So, I remember I get to the, it's a big white room. Chairs everywhere. And there's people sitting all around me. They have a phone. You can make calls before you get checked in. So right then and there, I don't know a lot of people's numbers off the back of my head. I just know my mom's, my dad's. I knew my dad wasn't going to pick up because it was really late. And it's just no luck with that. My mom, my dad, my Grammy. Why didn't I call my Grammy? Well, my Grammy probably wouldn't have picked up either. But I call my mom. Stupid decision. Because my mom's never there for me. So what was I thinking? So I call my mom. Mom, this is the exact conversation. Mom, I'm in jail. Why are you in jail? Just listen, please. I'm in jail. Need you to bail me out. It was $400 for my bail. I had that money in my account, but I couldn't pay my own bail because I didn't have cash. Please bail me out. I'm in jail. I need your help. Like, I need you. And she says, well, I have to pray about it. I'm like, what? There's no time for prayers, Mom. Get me out of jail. Like, I need you. And then she says, well, maybe you should sit in there and think about what you've done. And I'm like, Mom, my dogs are in my house. It's already been 6 hours. I cannot be here. I need to take care of them. I had my contacts in for 24 hours pretty much because all day. And then it's like 4 in the morning at that time. Over 24 hours or whatever. My eyes are dry. I have no spares, no glasses. I was like, Mom, I need you to get me out. And she's like, well, you don't seem too sad about this. And I'm like, I cannot cry on the phone. I'm around all these girls I'm getting booked with. Like, I can't cry. So, basically, she was no help. I'm still drunk, by the way. I go and they have me change into this orange jumpsuit, squat, and cough, and not in a good way. And I still have my Tiffany's necklace on. I'm shocked at that. My mugshot, which I smiled in it, and then they say, oh, the judge is going to like that one. I was really gone, smiling. And then they take off my jewelry, and then I get admitted. I walk through the doors of jail, and I pretty much I was in a really bad jail, by the way. Bad city. I walk in, and there's not a lot of white people. Not a lot of white girls, okay? Which there is Spanish, a lot of Spanish girls, some blacks, and then there's one white girl. Now, I'm sorry. I went straight to the white girl because I'm like, well, I probably have the best shot at this. Well, I sit down with this white girl at the table, and I'm like, the first thing she says to me is, it's okay, we have to stick together. I'm like, all right, this girl's racist, because what? I just sit there, I'm like, all right, well, let me just sit here. And she starts talking about effing all these guys, cheating, this. She was crazy. Drugs. I'm like, all right, I gotta get away from this girl, because she's gonna make people think I'm like her, and I'm not like her at all. So I'm like, all right, I gotta take a shower, because it was a long night. I'm like, I gotta take a shower. I go to the showers, and I look at them like, where's the soap? I had no idea where anything was. I'm like looking, and this girl comes up to me, and she's like, what are you waiting for? Go in. And I'm like, well, where's the soap at? And then she points at this bin. She helped me. She opens the bin, and there's like a little bag of soap and whatever. I'm like, okay. I go in. No privacy. I'm like, whatever. I'm used to this. I take off my clothes, and I just was being stared down. I'm like, do not drop the soap. Do not drop the soap. That's in my head. It's slippery. I'm not dropping it. It's not going to happen today. Although, thank God I wasn't with guys, because that's where it really applies. But I wasn't going to drop the soap, because you just don't know. I took a really fast shower. I got out. It was a very cold, fast, not enjoyable shower. I get out feeling just as dirty as when I went in. And I'm like, all right, what do I do? So they give food out. It's food time. Let me tell you, it's not good food. It's like gross, like worse than cafeteria food. I was like, I'm not eating this. So I have this tray. I sit down, and I'm like, well, and this girl comes up to me. She's like, can I have this? I was like, yeah, just whatever, have it. They were so happy. It was like their day, because I guess they like that food. I couldn't do it. I didn't eat. So I decided, you know what? I'm bunny. I go to all the tables. I sit down with these Spanish girls who were obviously Cuban, and I go, oi, mami, que vola? And they were laughing. They were like, hey, the gringa. Hey, I like her. They all liked me. Okay. And then everyone's talking. What are you in for? DUI. Oh, okay. Is this your first time? Yeah, everyone was shocked. It was my first time in jail, because everyone's there for their second, third time, fourth time. Like, they all know the runaround. First time. I go to these black girls. I'm like, hey, I sit down. We start rapping. And they're like, oh, white girl. You're pretty thick for a white girl. I'm like, hey. I sat down at this other table of black girls. Juicy. Me and Juicy. Juicy, where are you? Shout out. Where are you? I want to, like, talk to you so bad. I met this girl, Juicy. Started rapping with her. By the way, a guard was watching me do this. This fat black guard hated me. Hated me because she saw me making friends with everyone loved me. So she just hated me. I'm, like, rapping with Juicy. Me and Juicy were like this. Let me tell you. This. Just remember Juicy, because she saved my life. Alright, although I was in jail, was I scared? Yes. I was scared out of my mind. Super scared. But I feel like life is all about intentions, and let me tell you, I had an angel with me in jail, because I was covered. From the moment I walked in, someone helped me with where to find my soap. Like, everyone loved me, except the guard. So then we go to our rooms. I get assigned my bunk or whatever. It's a bunk bed, a silver bunk bed, and I had the bottom. And then nobody was in my room when I got there. Silver toilet that I was not going to sit on, little sink, and you get like a toothbrush, which is like a really dinky, not a good toothbrush. Nothing was good there. It's jail. So I'm in jail. You have to like go in your cell, and then you lay there for like a couple hours, and then you're able to come back out to the like main room. And so I'm laying there because it was time to do that. And that was the hardest part of jail for me. One of the hardest. Laying there for like 3 or 4 hours. Felt like a lifetime. I laid there in my bunk thinking, nobody else got me here but me. That was the hardest part for me. Like, I was crying. I was hugging myself. I was cold, no blanket, no pillow. Hugging myself, crying like, I'm the one who got me here. And nobody's going to get me out but me. Because I had nobody. So, I finally get out of my room, and then I get a person in my bunk, I realize. She comes in, and she's a prostitute. She was pretty cool, but she stayed in the room the whole time. She didn't come out. She wasn't there to, like, make friends, wasn't there to whatever. She didn't even care about trying to be on the phone with the bail's bond. That's where I was. I was on the phone. Everyone was super nice. Like I said, they, like, were helping me. Like, oh, you could call this number, because I had no idea what I was doing. I'm on the phone with this bail's bond guy. Like, I need to get out of here. So he starts working on my paperwork. He's like, okay, I'll get you out. Give me 24 hours and you'll be out of there. Called him like 4 times. I was desperate. Like, get me out of here. I called my mom. Mom, please, I'm begging, please get me out of here. I've been in here now for, 12 hours. Haven't eaten. My buzz is gone. All I feel are my dry eyes. All I'm thinking about are my poor dogs. My dogs were in my house for 48 hours without eating, without going out. All I was thinking about was my dogs. I was like, please get me out. I can catch an STD in here. I was like, you've always been crazy about my health and my cleanliness. I'm telling you, it's gross in here. And all she was saying was, I don't seem very sorry. And I smiled in my mugshot because it got uploaded, so she was pissed. So, it was up to me. I have a guy in England, Sparky, trying to call up the jail. Get her out. I will pay you $1,000 when my bail is $400. They wouldn't let him. The only person trying to get me out was one of my people from camp who, like, wanted to pay $1,000 when it's $400 just to get me out. Because they saw that because they knew something was wrong. So it just was very sad to me that no one was there. And I got myself out, but it took 24 hours. So, but before that, I'm there. The woman guard who hated me, she was like, she called me by a number. I forgot my number. And she basically, when they let you out of your room, they said the rules in jail are make your bed in the morning. Well, it was like 3 in the morning or something. No, forgot what time it was. I don't know. You make your bed when you wake up. That's what she said. Make your bed when you wake up. So when they allowed us to come out, I didn't make my bed because I didn't wake up because I didn't sleep. And it was like nighttime. So I was like, all right, I just go out. And then all of a sudden, this guard says, who's in? Oh, and by the way, they have you lining up and they're always checking to make sure everyone's there. So I'm outside. I'm having a good time because as long as you're out there talking to people, you're fine. It's when you're alone in your room where your thoughts start coming into your head and it's hard. So I was thinking, I'm just passing the time. I'm a very social person, talking to all these girls. I'm sitting with Juicy, and this big-ass guard comes up to me. Not up to me, but up to the whole place and says, who's in room blah, 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 like the number. And I'm like, shit. And she's like, who's on bunk, like the bottom bunk? And I'm like, I am. And then she's like, get in your bunk and stay there for the night. You didn't make your bed. And I'm like, I thought that you make it when you wake up. She's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, it's nighttime. I thought you meant the morning. I obviously was very innocent. I had no idea I did something wrong. And she's like, get in your bunk. Like, she was pissed. She just hated me. She wanted to, like, make my life hell in there. Coconut water break. And so I get in my bunk and I'm bummed out. It worked. I was like, now what am I going to do? I was just hoping and praying that I get out soon. So all of a sudden, somebody comes and gets me and says, it's your lucky day. You're getting out of here. I get up. I jump up like, whee! Yes! And so I get up and I go outside again. And she says, sit here. And I sit down. and I'm watching her do the paperwork. And then she's doing it, and then she looks at me and says, all right, let's go. I'm like, okay. And I stand there, and she's like, go ahead of me. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, I was going to follow her because I don't know where I'm going. She's like, walk ahead of me. And I'm like, okay, well, where do I go? And she's like, just keep walking. I'm not going to let you stab me with a pencil behind my back. And I'm like, what? I said to her, why would I stab you with a pencil when I'm getting out of jail? And like, I'm just happy I'm getting out. And she goes, mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. So I just keep walking. And then we're at the elevator, waiting for the elevator, and she looks at me and she's like, and I just look at her, I'm like, and then she's like, something's wrong with you. What kind of drugs are you on? And I'm like, what? I've been in here for 24 hours. I can't get drugs. I'm not on any drugs. And she looks and goes, you're too happy to be in here. You on something. And I'm like, I'm just happy I'm getting out. I told her I'm just happy that I got a second chance at life, that I didn't kill anyone. Like, I am happy to get out of here. And then she looks at me and says, mm-hmm. And she goes, well, what did you learn? And I'm like, never to drink and drive. And she goes, and what else? And I'm like, to make my effing bed when you tell me. And she's like, mm-hmm. You guys, when I got out of that elevator and I got to like leave her, I looked at her and said, Miss Williams, because I still remember, I was like, Miss Williams, because she's wearing a name tag. I hope that you find some happiness in your life because you are obviously a very angry person. And take care. And she looked at me and was like, mm-hmm. Whatever, drug user. What? And then she leaves. I was like, ah, thank God. I get to get out of here. Oh, 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 oh. And so I get into the room. They give me my stuff. My tank top. My shirt. I'm like, Converse. Tiffany's necklace. Oh, girl, I look good right now. And then, guess what? Even better. Juicy comes in the room and she's like, hey, Bunny. I'm like, Juicy. Ah. And then they give me my phone. They say, and they give me a bus pass. They say, you can take the bus, here it is, all the way up home, which I'm sorry, I've never rode in a bus in my life. The city bus, I don't know how it works. I don't take it. I don't know the routes. I don't know how I'm going to get home. And it's 4 a.m. My phone is dead because I came from a party. It's dead. I'm like, I had like Lyft. I could call it, but I have no phone to call it on the app. So I'm like, how am I going to get home? That was my next mission. Oh my God. I didn't know what I was going to do. No one was there. I get out. When I get out of there, they tell me, because I had to walk through the room where everyone's getting like booked. They're like, here, wear this over you until you get out there, because I was way too sexy to be walking through jail. Everyone was like, ooh. All the guys were like, ooh. I walk out with Juicy, and Juicy has a ride waiting for her. This black guy who has a really shitty car, and I was like, what am I gonna do? So I go to Juicy and say, Juicy, I'm so sorry to ask this, but I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Don't know how I'm gonna get home. Can I please go with you? And I could charge my phone when I get to your house if you have an Apple phone charger. And I could call a Lyft or an Uber back to my house. I just need to plug my phone in because I don't know what I'm going to do. And she goes, let me ask my ride. And so she goes and asks her ride. And she's like, come on, Bunny, come on. I got a ride with Juicy from jail. Who does that? Who gets that? Most people be like, I don't know you. You were in jail. No. Juicy, shout out to Juicy, because I don't know what I would have done. I would have been like in the middle of somewhere bad, looking like I did. Like, thank God for Juicy. I will never forget you. I need to find you. I love you. I need to see what you've been doing in your life, because that's an intention right there. She's gonna get blessed because she was my little angel. Juicy and Bunny. Juicy and Bunny were on the road. It was a bumpy ride, literally. So this car takes her to her Grammy's house. I go in there in the house and I see her grandma. I meet her grandma. I meet her mom. I meet her child. I'm meeting all these people. I'm sitting there because she needed to get her car from her Grammys. So I witness all this yelling, this craziness. I'm just sitting there like, I just need to get home. And so we finally get in her car. Her car is on a donut. I was like, what? Hopefully we get there where we needed to go. We are driving through the ghetto on a donut in a car that does not seem like it's going to get there. We stop at the gas station, like 3, 4 in the morning, get gas, and I'm like, I cannot get out of this car. I'm charging my phone in her car. Come on, turn on. And then we get to her house, and all these people are there, and I'm plugging my phone in. I finally call a Lyft. You guys, Juicy saved my life. I get in that Lyft. I get home, walk into my house at 6 in the morning. My dogs were crying. Shit, pee everywhere. I've never been so happy to walk home to shit and pee. I was like, oh, I'm just happy to be home. I locked my door for 2 weeks straight, even if I had to go to my car, because I realized the crazy people that are out there, jail is not a good place. And all I know is Juicy and Bunny, because I don't know what I would have done without Juicy. And who does that happen to? Literally, I'm just like so blessed. And so that was my jail story. Well, what happened was I got a really good attorney who pushed off my case for about a year. Get a DUI. My truck is totaled. Had to pay to get it like out of this lot, like $500 because it was there for a while. It was just so crazy, everything I went through.